There we are. Bit of smoke into the entrance. Bit of smoke into the top. Now let's have a look. This is a honey super that was put on only a week or two ago, and the weather's just warmed up. There hasn't been a huge honey flow, so I just want to see how well they're working on the frames in there. So you can see that they've been filling out the comb, they've been building the comb out, and there is honey in there, but it's nowhere near being filled with honey. Let's just have a look at a couple of other frames. Here they are building away, making a lovely job with the comb, but not a great deal of honey in there yet. This one's a bit farther on. It's an older comb, and the bees have been repairing it, rebuilding the comb and filling it with honey, bit by bit. All coming on nicely, but not a great deal of honey stored in that box yet. So we might go further down in and have a look at what's going on. Now here's the queen excluder. So you can see that the queen is able to operate underneath this layer, and I expect there to be a lot more going on down under there. Lots of brood, a fair bit of honey. Let's see what... Now, this honey super is really the upper part of the brood chamber. It's part of the queen's territory, and I expect to find brood in here in these middle frames. So rather light. Full of brood. You see the yellow cells, mostly capped, and some of them you can actually see the larvae down inside. These white things here are larvae. So that's busy bee rearing territory. And if we go to the outside frames, there's no brood there, but there's quite a lot of pollen being stored and honey. So that's the stores really for the larvae there, building up. So everything looking well, not exactly abundant yet. But the honey flow is starting now, so you can see they're beginning to save honey. Once they get going at that, they'll save honey fairly rapidly. At the moment they have enough for their brood rearing activities, and that's about it. It's building up gradually, and I would expect, we're the 1st of June today, so I would expect that we will have plenty of honey in the next few weeks. And you can see they haven't really got to those outside frames at all yet. Now, I could go down further into the hive, into the brood chamber. We'll find pretty much the same thing. I just take a quick look down there because I don't want to annoy the bees too much. They're being fairly calm. frame's sticking here. Just set my camera here a bit. And actually it's very quiet down there. I think the brood nest has mainly moved up into the shallow frame above it for some reason. But there's plenty of bees down there and quite a lot of pollen. Now there's some dodgy comb. It's hard to know what to do with that. I can tidy it up a little bit, but these bees tend to be slightly chaotic when it comes to building comb. They do some rather wonderful organic structures. Don't necessarily stay according to the plan. So I'm just going to reduce the chaos a little bit. Take off some of this excess comb at the top of the frames. Mind bees, move out of the way there for me. Okay, well they've plenty of space, that's the main thing I suppose. So there we have it. That's really a two-part brood chamber, one deep and one shallow. On top of that I'm going to put back the queen excluder because I don't want the queen going laying eggs in the upper boxes. There will be more boxes on later. There's the queen excluder back on. Take some of this wild comb off. And my honey super, which they've started filling, but there's not great progress yet. So, there's the live hive. There's my crown board. And I think we can leave them in peace now.